Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and yeah, here in the Marauders Guild we are because there's a continuation for the Marauder quest, which unlocks the advanced job, the Warrior. And we begin here with our Guildmaster Wernson. Serenia, just the woman I was hoping to see. It's plain as day that you have no equal in our guild, and I have a task that I'd entrust to no ordinary marauder. To wit, I just received a message from an old comrade in arms of mine, who now serves as a guardsman in Costa del Sol. It would seem the fighting's grown fierce in those parts, and he finds himself in dire need of reinforcements. Mind you, this man is no white-livered whelp. He can wield an axe with the best of them, as evidenced by Master Gegaruju paying good coin for the services of he and his men. No, any enemy who could fluster that bunch is not one to be trifled with. I've sent Zolk Whip on ahead to tend to the wounded. Seek her out upon your arrival, and she'll apprise you of the situation at hand. Serenia, ever the sight for sore eyes? A nasty bale of turtles has been preying on this area of late, snapping and gnashing at everything in sight. Why, even the best men that Master Gegaruju could buy find themselves no match for the creatures. Word has it that the beasts have been sighted swimming in from the lightly guarded northern shore. I would send you there to investigate the cause behind their burgeoning numbers. Fell Demon, huh? Great name, by the way. Damn it all, Serenia, we must see to these beasts. Seven hells, there's no end to them. Prepare to fall back. I'll see to those shellbacks you helps not try to end up as turtle grab. That axe. I have not seen its like in... Serenia, we must do what we can. Okay, let's do what we can. Let's help him. That should send them scuttling back to their nests. You can call me Curious Gorge. One remark about my name and I'll rip your ugly heads from your shoulders and sack the marrow from your twitching spines. You two are guards from Costa del Sol, I reckon? Not so much. We are of a Marauders Guild sent here by Axmaster Ronzon to assist in the defense. I'm Zilkwip and this is my comrade Serenia. From the guild, you say? Well, blow me down and call me a bogey. Had you told me sooner, I'd have introduced myself with proper respect. You're Serenia, right? We've only just met, but I see in you a strength not found in ordinary women. What say you unleash the beast within and become a warrior with me? A warrior, you say? So it was you I saw brandishing battle techniques I had thought lost to the sands of time? Lost? Perhaps in these parts, but where I come from, the way of a warrior is alive and well. My tribe has been handing them down for thousands of years. Yet our numbers dwindle with every new summer, and this is why I left the mountain where I was raised to come here. What say you, Serenia? If you would walk the path of warrior with me, seek me out at Hidden Falls. The warriors of old. We have all heard the tales, but never once did I dream that I would meet one in the flesh. My memory is cloudy, but many years ago, it was said there was a young marauder in the company of heroes who would unleash crushing blows theretofore unseen by his comrades. When the company disbanded, he vanished, never to be seen again. Might that be this Curious Gorge? I cannot vouch for the man's identity, but there can be no denying the display of strength we saw today, nor that he has taken a liking to you, Serenia. This could be an opportunity for the ages. Hidden Falls, was it? Were I near boots, I would head off there without delay. And that is what we will do. I knew you would come, Serenia. Let us begin. Any woman can take up an axe and call herself a marauder, but to become a true warrior, she must prove she can tame the inner beast that guides the blade. I witnessed you in battle with the turtles, and I must say that I'm impressed. You have proven yourself far more worthy of this than I could have imagined. In your hands lies the soul of a warrior, a crystal within which the deeds of 1,000 warriors from history are recorded. For countless generations, the soul has been passed on to those in my tribe who choose the path of a warrior, to guide them and aid them on their journey. When your inner beast awakens, the rune will resonate, further empowering your will and granting you such strength that you have never thought possible. Today, there is cause for celebration, my friend, for through you, I have ensured that my tribe's legacy will endure. Yes, it is for this day, this moment, that I came down from the mountains. Yet, however earnestly I pursue my goal, I cannot deny the fear inside me that my mission will ultimately end in failure. For you see, while I style myself a warrior, the truth is that I left the mountains before my training was complete. And while I carry with me the chronicles of my ancestors, detailing the ancient arts of war, I lack the ability to further decipher the texts. Yet there may still be hope, for there's another who fled the village, one who shared my dream of passing on the teachings of a tribe, and can read the tome. My brother. Without him, I fear, there's little more I can teach you at this time, but that will not discourage me from continuing my studies of the chronicles, nor shake my belief that further secrets will soon reveal themselves to me. Until then, I ask that you use the knowledge I've passed on to you and continue your training. You must strive to harden your will so that it may endure the strain of future burdens. Good luck, my friend. And continued at level 35. So there will be a time skip until I'm actually leveled for that. So with that, until next time. Okay, level 40. Here I am. And where we learn the next quest, Inner Beast. And we will already have the gauge to spend for it. Welcome back, my friend. I can see that you've not neglected your training. For my part, I fear that deciphering the ancient chronicles of my people is proving to be a much more demanding task than I had imagined. Mind you, it hasn't helped that I've been somewhat preoccupied of late. A comrade of mine from my days in the company of heroes asked me to do a favor, and it's taken me back and forth across the realm like some bloody fairy. I'm on a hunt for some mysterious feral beast that's been terrorizing small folk. People don't know where the monstrosity came from, but witnesses say its thirst for blood is unlike anything they've ever seen. Unfortunately, the time I've spent in pursuit of a beast is time I have not spent studying the chronicles, and I'm sorry to say I have made little progress. However, while on the road, I was able to decipher one passage that may be of interest to us both. From what I can gather, the chronicles tell of an ancient set of armor forged by my ancestors in the flames of the seventh hell, and inscribed with the same arcane incantations that adorn the soul of a warrior. It would seem that this mighty armor was passed down from hero to apprentice for centuries until one man, driven by rage and vain glory, cast all 5 pieces from Abalafia's highest peak. Since that day, the armor has remained lost, and with it, the power that it harbors. As far I can make out, the next passage in the chronicle concerns the whereabouts of these missing artifacts. Though I have only been able to make sense of the odd words thus far, still I must confess to some excitement. Imagine what a warrior clad in such garb could achieve. If only my brother here. We could decipher the text together and spread the teachings of our people to the entire realm. Alas, he is not. His whereabouts are as hidden to me as those of the ancient armor. I would have liked you to meet him, if only so that you could have looked upon a true warrior. Well, perhaps you shall. Yours is not as large as most people perceive. Perhaps cross, fates intertwine, such as the will of a spinner. It may be that my brother has chosen a similar path to mine, but I have rambled long enough. You are here to take the next step in your training, and so I shall oblige. In the southern reaches of Fenelon is the Zagoli Desert, a god's-forsaken wasteland of naught but sand that stretches as far as the eye can see. It is here that the Leviathan of the Dune lurks, a sandworm of gargantuan proportions. When facing this mammoth creature, you will soon realize that the feeble hacks and slashes of your puny axe are ill-suited to the task of felling such a foe. But do not let that dissuade you. Wake the slumbering beast within and summon forth a strength that transcends the limits of your physical form. Mind you, first you'll have to find the beast, and that might prove a tall order in itself. The Ute tribe that inhabits Forgotten Springs is wise to the movements of the denizens of the desert. Should you want for guidance, I wager they could set you in the right direction. If they decide to help. Okay. No, I have done this one too often to care. Sandworms are particularly sensitive to vibrations in the earth, such as those made by running. If you're looking to summon one of the beasts, then I suggest you search for their tracks, then run about making as much of a clamor as possible. I would also suggest you seek a cure for your madness. Aye, I've seen the beast. Stands 3 months high he does and stirs up sandworms with each drive and wriggle. Stirs up sandstorms with each drive and wriggle. Showed up in my hunting field some years ago and has been swallowing up my would-be prey but gaping more of it ever since. The Leviathan of the Dunes? I saw the fearsome bugger not a week ago, preying on a group of merchants south of Bayergod's Strike. The smart ones stopped their wares, turned tail and ran. The dumb ones... well, at least we can say they died the rich. Okay, south of the Bayergod's... well, pretty much southeast. Here, Bayergod's Hammer is here. Bayergod's Strike. Okay. So here is the ruined carriage. And there's a giant sandworm. The warriors of ages past have borne witness to it. Anyway, let's return to Curious Gorge. Serenia, the crystal grows ever stronger. In felling the raging sandworm, the beast within you slowly but surely rouses to wakefulness. The next you do battle, methinks you will find yourself capable of movements heretofore unfamiliar to you. When you have mastered your new talents, return to me. In the meantime, I shall continue my study of the ancient texts. With the whispers of a village ancestors. And suddenly it's gone. My collected beast gauge. So, I guess I'm done. Curious Gorge goes to Wineport. Hello again, friend. It is quite obvious that you have been anything but idle in your training since last we met. Yep. Probably. Your progress is heartening to look upon truly, but it also serves to remind me that each hour I spent poring over ancient texts is an hour not spent owning my skills. I fear my worth on the battlefield is diminishing by the day. Yet I am certain that my studies of the Chronicles will yield something of use. In fact, just last night I discovered how the warriors of my tribe came to be shunned by the outside world. Upon witnessing my people's prowess with the axe, the armies of the city-states began to incorporate similar techniques into their own training regiments. These are the self-same techniques I've been instructing you in Zerenia, ones which call upon the inner beast. The consequences, of course, were dire. Yes, the soldiers became nigh on unstoppable, but they also became wholly uncontrollable, and both friend and foe fell prey to the ensuing carnage. Of course, the heads of the city-states laid the blame of these atrocities solely on the feet of my kind, promptly banning the ancient art and imprisoning anyone suspected of teaching them, or so the chronicles say. What I find hard to grasp, though, is that never once during my training did my brother hint at this dark history, nor have I myself ever seen one of my tribe succumb to the rage that the chronicles describe. Could it be that the tales are mere falsehoods? Stories concocted by some long-forgotten enemy would poison our heritage and befoul our tribe's name? Who in their right mind would seek to sully something so pure, and why would my ancestors simply bow their heads and suffer such ignominy? That my people should be so weak, so utterly bereft of pride, is inexplicable. I refuse to believe it. It matters not if these claims are groundless. If they have prompted my tribe's art to fade into obscurity, then the damage has already been done. Well, I for one will not turn a blind eye to this injustice. If none of my people will give a lie to the stories that have been tarnished our reputation, then it shall have to be me. But once again I lose myself in history and forget the present. If you recall, I spoke to you of my former comrade from the Company of Heroes and the great woolly beast we've been pursuing. The beast remains on the loose, and to toss a pound of salt in the wound, fell creatures that appear to be its minions have been wreaking havoc on the innocent residents of Wineport. Were you and I to succeed in quelling that threat, surely the people would see that warriors are no fearsome beasts, but valuable allies. Together, Zerenia, we will win back our proud name. Now, let us away to Wineport to meet with the captain of the militia. Wineport militia captain. My friends, Wineport is much obliged for your aid. The fiends come relentlessly, and that few able-bodied men we have find themselves hopelessly outmatched. Indeed, the western gates have been so besieged that they are currently left of any manned defense. Does that make sense? Leave the defense to us, my good man. I will secure the western gate. Zerenia, you defend the town from the east. Together we will form a bulwark that not a single fiend can penetrate. Once the enemy has been driven back, we return here to back up the captain. Got it? Guess so. Surveying. Hostile presence. Oh, I didn't want to pull you, but now you're here. More. Restless Harrier. A bit higher level. More? More. Fourth wave, perhaps? No. Okay. Thank the 12 you're safe. We have need of your skills yet. I just heard a scream and I fear one of the beasts might be loose within the village. Come with me. You monster! Get away! Get away! Monster, but I... Come no closer, Serenia. I beg of you. I must return to the forts. Whatever has gotten into Curious Gorge. 'Tis true that he fought like a man possessed, but do mistake him for the very beast he hunts? Methinks the child's parents have been feeding her a few too many ghost stories for her own good. Worry not, friend, I shall speak with the villagers and clear up this unfortunate misunderstanding. Do return to the forts and assure Curious Gorge that Wineport is indebted to him for his aid. I think he might be worried that he indeed is becoming a monster, but who knows? Serenia, please forgive me for leaving so abruptly earlier. It was a hasty reaction to a situation for which I was completely unprepared. While both you and I know that I was in complete control of my inner beast, I now realize that to the layman's eyes, it may have seemed that, well, the opposite was true. Mayhap it was this very misapprehension that lent weight to the lies which led to my tribe's disgrace. And if that is the case, then perhaps I should return once more to the Chronicles and endeavor to re-access their message in light of this discovery. Speaking of light, your soul crystal, Serenia, it sparkles. Does the soul of your warrior have aught to reveal to you? Any whispers of import? If only they hadn't forsaken me, as they did my brother. Yes, well, I suppose that is that. I must continue my studies and you your training. I hope to have something new for both of us very soon. Until then, my friend. Mithril Tempest. You hear the whispers of the village ancestors. Combos with overpower, so it is. I don't have a target, then let's get one. Come here, Colibri. A cone in front of us and a whirlwind around us. It's AoE attacks. So, but I believe it's enough for this episode. Next time we might continue with this or not, depending on how I do this, right? How I upload them. So anyway, until next time, when we continue Final Fantasy XIV something, I'm Mace and don't get lost.